Today I'm here to talk to you guys about corsets. I've had quite a few requests to speak to you guys about corsets and educating you about things you shouldn't do, things you should do, and just corsets in general. Firstly, I'm going to talk to you about your size and measurement. Now, to get a good fitting corset, you need to measure your, depending on if you're getting a overbust or underbust, you need to measure under your bust, under where your bra goes, your natural waist. Now, that's your smallest part of your waist. That is not like where you put your pants. It is your mid-waist, the smallest part. And then you want to measure your hips, which is where your pants go. And then you want to measure where your underbust is, and then where down to your hips, for how long you want your corset. Now, if you want to wear a corset that's longer than that, you can, but it may be a little uncomfortable. Some people have a smaller, shorter torso or a longer torso, and they make corsets in all of those ranges. Now, for plus size women, you may want to get a longer corset to kind of squish in that lower tummy that we all have. And also, they have what some people call it anti-muffin top, or a long line corset that goes up in the back from where your underbust is. That helps from that muffin top that a lot of women get, almost every woman, no matter what size they get. Kind of all their skin fat comes up in the back. Seasoning your corset or breaking in your corset. This is extremely important. I cannot emphasize that anymore. This will let your corset last a lot longer. It will mold to your shape, and it will make your corset more comfortable. If you don't do this, it's possible that you can, break a busk, or you can make some of the fabric kind of wear. You can make the seams and stuff pop a bit. Just like anything you wear, you want to break it in. For example, if you bought a pair of new boots, brand new pair of leather boots, you do not tie them as tight as you can and zip them up. You'll break a zipper, or do that in general. It will cause wear. It will cause it to be uncomfortable. You want something to mold to your body. There are several channels that teach you how to break in a corset. Orchard Corset is wonderful with all of their seasoning videos and stuff. What I suggest, and I'm still in the middle of seasoning this corset, as you can see, it's not as tight as it can be, and it's not as tight as it can be at all at the bottom. Still really trying to break this in. But basically what you want to do is you want to wear it for about 2 hours a day for 2 weeks. Sometimes you can skip days, sometimes you can wear it several times in the same day, but take it off for a while, put it back on. You do not want to tie it as tight as it can when doing this. I want to emphasize getting a corset that fits you properly. I can't count how many times I've been at different events and things hearing women complain that their corset is uncomfortable or they can't breathe or whatever. You should be able to breathe in your corset. It should not be uncomfortable. If your corset is uncomfortable, either one, you're wearing it wrong. Two, the corset that you're wearing, you have not broken it in, and it's not the same shape as your body. Or you bought the wrong corset, and the corset is either too shapely for your body and your body's not used to it, or the corset is not shapely enough. I have worn corsets that were not shapely enough for my body, and it is uncomfortable. Because as your curves go, it doesn't fit in your curves right. And it can squeeze in your hips wrong. It can hurt your ribs, things like that. So a proper corset with your right measurements, shapely enough for you, is what you need. Brands. Now there are several brands out there that are not shapely enough. They're not good for tight lacing yourself into or waist training. It would be okay for a couple hours of wear, but you're not going to be comfortable. Websites like Corset Story, things like that, with those cheap corsets that say that they're for that, and you actually look at their shape, those are not good for corset training. They're not good for waist training, or whatever you would want to call it. But if you want to wear it for a couple of hours for an event or something like that, go ahead, but you're probably not going to be comfortable. Timeless Trends, they have some pretty nice corsets, but they aren't as shapely as some of them can be. They do have hip ties on some of their corsets, but I don't own one of those, so I can't really tell you how well they work. Orchard Corset, they have several different levels of silhouette levels, and they have several different sizes when it comes to length. They have a shorter one, longer ones. They have clincher type corsets that are fairly small. But always do your research. If you really want a corset, there's nothing wrong with Googling things. I know that there is a reviewer on here, and I can send a link to her her channel. I believe her name's Lucy. So I'll send a link down at the bottom and show you guys. Putting on your corset. Now there are several different YouTube channels that can show you how to put your corset on yourself. I really suggest doing a lot of research before you go buying a corset anyways. So there are a lot of videos on YouTube, here on YouTube, that show you how to put on your corset. I do not suggest the doorknob method. Especially when you're first putting on a corset, your corset does not need to be that tight. So a lot of it is just like when you're tightening your shoelaces. It involves, you know, pulling laces at the bottom and pulling the laces at the top. Do not tie your corset in the front. When you do this, this causes rubbing on the fabric in the middle of your corset. And I have had people bring corsets to me with frayed fabric in the middle that there's nothing you can do. You can't fix that when the fabric's all frayed there and coming out of the seams and stuff like that. I know, ladies, sometimes it looks good. If you want to put a belt over your corset, like one of those stretchy ones, go ahead and do that if you want to like make it look different. You could even take a separate piece of ribbon after you've tied your corset in back and like tie a bow in front or something. Don't tie your corset in the front. Don't do it. It'll damage your corset. I've been wearing corsets for around 6 years now, I believe, and did research of corsets for about 2-3 years before I ever wore an actual steel bone corset. So, just like anything that you're interested in, please do your research before buying a corset. That way when you buy a corset, you're getting the right corset for you. You're getting you're going to make that corset last longer, because it is an investment with how much corsets cost, at least a good corset. So let me know if you guys want any other corsetting videos, if there's a question, something that I possibly left out. So please like and subscribe. Tell me what you guys want to see. Thank you for watching. Bye.